Hello, and thank you for another exciting week of Back into Society. And this week, I would like to send a shout out to my brother Kevin Wobble Sr., that is hospitalized right now in the state of New Jersey. He is battling some health problems, but we are praying for his recovery because Kevin is someone that has really done a lot to expose injustice here in America. And, one thing that we must understand is that we are out here and we are battling for you. Do you understand that? Do you fully understand that? So, in battling for you, you got brothers, they are experiencing health problems and just all types of things going on in their lives, but they're standing for you. They're standing for your children. They're standing for your loved ones that are incarcerated in some of the U.S. most inhumane prisons. Most people don't understand this harsh reality, and because they don't understand, now they begin to open up doors. Doors which men want shut, doors which men are trying to put behind them so that they can move forward. This is a very discriminatory world towards individuals that have been inside of a prison. This is a world that is so cold that it has really monopolized society and allowed society to chop its own head off when it has come to these harsh restrictions and applying jobs and other resources to men and women that were inside of our prisons. We are the only race of people, meaning African American people, that have a extreme lack of restorative justice programs in our community. We are people that have primarily been given uh, crumbs. And when you're given crumbs, what ends up happening is that many people end up going to prisons that should never have went to a prison. This is a society that capitalizes off of men and women's misery. Yes, it is. Yeah, and some of these, I call them tarantulas, toxic people, right inside your own households. And you sitting back like it's a bright sunny day. Wrongful conviction, let's examine this. Took somebody to be manipulated by the police, maybe. Or it took someone to try to seek some type of revenge against someone, and they go inside the courts trying to seek revenges or gain rewards, and they falsely testify. Puts men inside of prisons for decades of their lives. Some of you have heard me speak about the fact that in the state of Indiana, they do not even have a compensation law. Man, that's messed up. So one of my friends that was released in the month, I would like to say January, just this January, uh, Tim Donald, he has This man had to work community service to get medical treatment, and he was wrongfully convicted, and he was exonerated, and they let him out due to the fact that he was exonerated. So the man got to work community service. Are you listening to me, ladies and gentlemen? Where in the world, how did these laws creep in? How in the world? All of it is estoppel laws. Estoppel laws to do what? Keep the chain around the neck. I understand. Want me to tell you, there's many bad politicians. There's some good ones, but there are many bad ones. And I know that it has affected the confidence of the people. And in affecting the confidence of the people, many people today feel like, well, getting up and voting is a waste of time. So now they just sit there. And as a result of just sitting there, what ends up happening is the person that they feel unworthy to really get into office gets into office, because guess what? They have the mindset that, well, guess what? The conditions are going to remain the same. So their children grow up in this environment, and now they can't even stand on a street corner. You gotta dodge bullets from brothers and sisters who want to shoot at them. So some of you remember 30 years ago, 40 years ago. Some of you do. And if you remember those times, one thing you could recall was safe environment. Today, inside of at least Chicago schools, man, they're dealing with a lead problem. I think it's in about it's over 30 different schools in Chicago, if my memory is serving me correct. And if not, somebody posted and put the accurate information out there. But these children was exposed to lead by the Chicago public schools. Guess what? If this had happened in the rich community, oh my gosh, by now I think it would have been about maybe probably thousands of lawsuits filed. You know, I'm just being honest. It would. Because it would be people fighting to make sure that this is shut down, for tests to be ran, for everybody affected, and everyone was affected inside of the school, regardless if they believe it or regardless if they do not believe it. But everyone was affected. So now, let's get to the meat and potatoes. You treat human beings. Listen to me, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to me, because this is a society, and most of you sitting here and you keep shaking your heads and you calling everybody under the sun, and you wondering and you saying, well, you know, man, little Timmy, man, he served 14 years in the joint and he got out of prison and now he out, man, and oh man, somebody, man, he go after them. You know why? That's what he learned. That's what he was taught. So you come out and you do as you were taught. Most of those brothers ain't no nonsense. They come out here. This is the nonsense out here in this society. All type of plots and schemes. And want me to tell you who's doing it to who? All races. But African Americans put a twist with it, baby, when they do it. So now this is a world that have now become centered around the fact of men and women being placed inside of prisons, coming out, who's been exonerated, cleared of the charges, come out and gotta suffer. That's what's happening with many of them. Many of them ain't been taught how to invest, so, you know, the government can give them 5, 10, 15, 20 mil in some cases, and they just sit back and tick, 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 gone. And that's the sad reality, because let's look at when you take children and you incarcerate children at very tender ages. And some of these children are innocent. Man, they're going to come out here no nonsense. Because this is a no nonsense type of environment where they're coming from, and they're coming into an environment that is mischievous. Man, you gunning down your attorneys, you gunning down your doctors, you gunning down your brothers and your sisters, and the system just sitting back and they laughing. The Klan let you know 10, 15 years ago when they released their press release and thanked African Americans for killing African Americans and for doing all this damage and harm. You people run the court for, man, for any goddamn thing. That's what you do because you ain't learned how to communicate. Communication is a weapon to some of you people out here. And it's a shame. So many brothers are in the graveyard. We got over 2.3 million people incarcerated in this country. Person want to do Timmy in, he doing his own brother in. Because the same measures how you try to get your brother be applied towards you and everyone else associated with you. Because you created something that you should not have created, and it's called toxic, mischievous behavior. That's this society. How in the hell did our grandmothers and grandfathers, they grew up, man, we knew when our grandfathers and our grandmothers, when they came in and they said quiet, people shut up. Today kids kill their grandparents. They killed their history. So now government and all the kids and everybody is just so happy. Oh, gee, discipline is gone. We can come out with a different style of discipline. Government says thank you. Because it just fills up the prison system. And as it fills up the prison system, guess what? That's why it's the need for a program called Back into Society. Man, you got all type of schemers out here, man. And they looking dead at y'all every day. Y'all know who they is and won't even tell. Man, we out here helping y'all. And y'all won't even tell us. Man, y'all let us be duped. That's what got to change. Our grandmothers and grandfathers, man, they loved each other. The community respected each other. Now today, they don't do that. Man, one block was like one big family. It wasn't, well, man, because you this or that. No, man, we got along. So the system plotted out all type of ways to destroy us. And they knew through its dirty deeds in the 50s and 60s and 70s that as long as they kept pumping guns into our community and establishing and showing us ways how to achieve these, man, the community is flooded with this stuff now. So now that it's flooded, now I'm believing these kids when these kids stand out and say they want to do war with the police. They got enough stuff. All that stuff and no food to eat. That's the conditions of poverty. And you drive your cars through that stuff every day. And you look. And when you look, you don't even lift a finger. That's the conditions of society. You got men and women behind the prison walls right now today. They think that the society still is on the same level it was before they left. So they come out here, man, y'all just be like, ooh, good. Now you messing with someone who suffers from postpartum depression. You messing with someone who has been seriously wounded. You're messing with someone that has been victimized by the criminal justice system. Man, Let's keep it real. Rich people put a trophy on them. Not a bullet, not running to the police, not trying to put them down, but they lift their people up. That's why when a politician go to jail, he get a job. He may not get that job back. He get a job because he got friends, and they ain't out shooting each other. They ain't out trying to do harm to each other because they build an understanding. When you build that understanding, then you can work on something here. So this society has no understanding to it at all. You got laws that don't even make common sense. And you people are, well, it's the law. Man, if you mad and you frustrated, man, you get the hell up. Your kid's dying in the middle of the street. But on your mind is how to go to a shake your booty party. Men who have gotten out of prison said, I love my people enough. Guess what? I'm going to sacrifice my family. I'm going to sacrifice this and I'm going to look out for my people. Now my people really, and please forgive me, and I think I put on here that you must be over 18 years of age. But now our people, you want to screw us. We stopping your children from ending up in prisons. We stopping your children from being victimized by police. We are there when you ain't even there in a courtroom. Man, what's wrong with that picture? Have you people seriously forgot how to love and to respect? In 99% of the households today, all over this globe, the problem is a lack of communication. All this being arrogant and rude. Man, you people rude. Man, they put y'all in prison, man, y'all be punked out. That's what happened. Y'all get punked out. So out here, you can't just say, oh man, my brother. The system created everything that's intact now today to divide and conquer us. That's why they did that. We got brothers that are Christians. We got brothers that are Catholic. We got brothers that are Muslims. We got brothers that into voodoo and all type of stuff. Brothers ain't out there shooting each other. That stuff got to stop, man. Man, that stuff got to stop. The system created. No, don't whoop your kid. Just kid, if they whoop you, call 911. Okay, when you call 911, we'll turn you over to a unit supervisor with the Office of the Department of Children and Family Services, and we'll get you out of that abusive house quick. Gee gosh. Now that kid go out and do something stupid, they're going to lock that kid up. Now, guess what? The kid got a record in prison. And the kid then made sure that the parent end up into the system. So stepfathers now today, they like, man, I don't give a heck what going on in the house. And we have adjusted to that. Here, us. This is not our culture. None of this is our culture. They brought out all these gadgets and gadgets. Yeah, we needed to adjust and to stay abreast. But we really put a twist to it. That we really needed so much that I'll murder my own brother. That's how much we say that we need this stuff. So now when little Timmy ends up inside of a prison system based upon a wrongful conviction, and the man kicked back out into society, the man happy to get here, man, and he want to help you. Now you, boom, you bamming them all upside the head. Brother didn't say, brother, let me help you. Let me guide you. Want me to tell you, we as a people gotta recognize the serious issues and problems. And I do understand why the youth of today have turned away from many of the adults and won't even listen to them. I'm gonna tell you what the real reason is. Some of you may like me, some of you may hate me. But the real reality of it is that butt ain't warm. It never have been warmed. Or maybe it was a kid, but when it got 5, 6, 7, or got 2 muscles, it stopped getting warm. So the kid, so now you become to be that kid's victim. So now that you the kid's victim, the kid got you in a hole. You jammed in that corner over there. That's where you at. You jammed in that corner, and you know, the kid that grew up looked like a football player by 10. Because the father made a suggestion to you, so you kicked him out. So now you sitting all, oh man, he left me, and he got Tina and JoJo and Kim, and now you complaining. Because now you need him. Now he ain't in that household. See, because he didn't fight back for you. He said, forget you. You want to go down here and get this order and do this order? Bye. So now he out here screwing everything with a hoe. That's reality. I ain't holding nothing back. I told you no kids under 18 is allowed to view this video. So I'm giving it to you in the raw. You know, we got to cut it out, man. There's so many kids being led right down there to the graveyard every single day. Man, this is ridiculous. The police didn't shoot him. Shoot, you shot him. Now that kid is dead. It ain't only he gonna get back up tomorrow and come back to his parents. The kid gone. So, in closing, when these brothers get out of prison, they suffering. So people are talking about, well, it don't take that long for nobody to run. Okay, well, let me put your butt in prison for 20 years, okay, inside of a cage for something you didn't do, and let me see how in the hell you act, okay? That's how we'll handle that, okay? Let me give you some food you can't even recognize for 20 long years of your life. Let me call you every name under the book. It ain't shit you can do. No kids under 18 is allowed to listen. So I'm going to give it to you in the raw. Ain't a goddamn thing you can do. Your kids out here committing these crimes, buddy. You holding up with all this mischievous bullshit out here in this world. And your kids being gunned down like dirty ass dogs. And the system taking them straight on to the morgue, kicking them to the morgue. You don't know what they doing to these kids when they transport them to the morgues. Throw them on in there in the corners and all that old type of stuff. Because they say they treat them like a dog, so we can do it too. Yeah. Oh, man, don't you see, man? Those 4 or 5 exonerees, they out and whatnot. And, listen here. That's called Tina for them. Yeah, you know Slutty Shirley. So they come with game. So people who've been to prison, man, they be like, man, get out of here. Especially if they can recognize it. They're not going to play with it. Not at all. You know why? It's like going to a cage of a lion and you rattle that cage and it got up there. Dangerous. Do not rattle or enter the cage. Now you rattling. Now you get so bold because you think this big old, you think it's just laying back and sleep. You got it head down. As soon as you open that cage, they say, "Rrr." That's what it says. That's the same way when you deal. Find me anywhere in America where that individuals that have been diagnosed with, I'm talking about, and then here it is, they open up, they don't open up no cages. They don't do that. They're giving you a warning. All them brothers over there in the war who fought and whatnot. That's why, man, them guys not playing with y'all. You know why? Because they suffering. They suffering from postpartum depression. You know, when you just go through it all and you get like filled up, that's what happens. It's called pressure. I'm talking about pressure. Let me put you in prison and tell you you're never getting out. Let me put you on death row and say I'm going to kill you. Yeah, it's good. You can talk all that, what they say. We used to call it up in prison. We used to call it cash shit. Yeah, they can do that. Now, but let the man get you like this with the metal chains around your arms. Then your poor mother coming there to visit you inside of an inhumane prison. Then little slutty Tina, she waiting on you when you come out. Hey, come on, baby. I've been waiting on you for 18 years. Now they got super duper crap. That's what Tina be for you. Because it's out of sight, out of mind. You didn't know what Tina was doing and you was inside of a prison. You know. So we must wake up to the reality that there are in need of treatment for individuals that have been wounded behind our prison walls by our criminal justice system, by our police, as well as our prison officials. There are some young men that enter inside our prisons that are literally drove crazy. They're drove crazy by the guards. And then the guards take pride in it. You know why? You know why? They say, well, guess what we can do? They walk in and out of this community and they just walk, hey, going to work. They go there and they make life miserable for your loved ones. Then guess what? Reality hurt. But somebody got to hear it because this society is missing it. And I'm just giving it to you in the raw. Come out here and they screw you. They appreciate it. That's what they do. And they just keep doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it. You know, as a people, we got to get up and we got to demand the system to change for our loved ones. Prisons is supposed to be a place where you enter and you come out better. That means with employment and that means with opportunity. The way that the system is structured today, neither one exists. So guess what? Either you must wake up to the realization that we must change, or else these conditions are going to remain the same. Believe it or not. It's going to grow even higher. And guess what? Little Timmy is going to show you the results. Because let me tell you, all of these symptoms, you know, post-traumatic, it has a limitation. When the pipe gets like filled, you know, it gets filled and it's clogged up, you don't want to be around that person. So I think we as a people, we must face the realization. Man, listen to me. You got loved ones right in your household, and you know it, that's suffering. from post-traumatic stress. So you say, oh man, listen here, they say he can't get no money for this. He can't. So you just sit there, untreated. I'll say it again, untreated. Mm-mm. Word to the wise in closing. Another exciting episode of Back into Society. As I opened up this program, I would like to just send a additional shout out to Brother Kevin. Man, get up, man. You can do it. Man, you know how those prison hospitals is. So man, when I seen your post yesterday, I just thank God that he made the way for you to be there and not, yonder. Yonder, that's a hurtful place if you need some medical treatment. So I just ask people to begin to research and learn what's affecting its people and its community. Prisons were created as places to embetter individuals that had fallen victim. I'll say it again. Victim to the wrong way. They felt they listened to someone or whatever, or they was temptation or whatever, and they committed a crime. So in committing the crime, these were individuals that were supposed to enter into the system, hard labor, I think that's what they came out with. But when you got out, you were supposed to be restored. You were supposed to be compensated and provided with opportunities so that you can succeed. So what trips me out is all across America, you can travel. And I've had the privilege of meeting thousands of brothers that have been released out of prisons all over this globe. And won't me tell you, all of them, every last one I know, reached the same conclusion. Man, this stuff got to change. It got to change. Same way wrongful convictions is wrong, killing our brothers and our sisters is wrong as well. And we must take this serious. Man, all them weeds and them abandonment in the cities or wherever you come from, man, they responsible, man, to take care of that and to take care of it with a jiffy move. That means fast, quick, in a hurry. You are the people. They serve you. So you say, oh, well, I called them 3 times. That's the way you come together. You all come together. Then you go to them. There's things called press releases, and you prepare those press releases. Guess what? One of those media channels getting up and coming out and find out what's going on. So we ain't learned that yet. So by not learning that yet, we're suffering. This system, this whole system, they got all poor people working to lock people up. You know why? Man, they went to school, law school, and when they went to law school, hell, they couldn't get a job. You want the real truth of it? That's the way 90% of that goes. So you look at your prosecutors, you look at your public defenders, most of them are there not by choice, but by force, a way of survival. And due to the fact that they need to survive and to feed their families, then they're willing to do whatever the system wants them to do. Anita Alvarez ain't the only crooked prosecutor. We got to focus on all of them and get them on up out of there, because they shouldn't even have those jobs. Most of them are unqualified to even handle the jobs, including judges. Highly, highly disrespectful to the people who pay their salaries. Man, if we don't change the way that we think and act, we are going to be in bondage. I'm talking about this bondage that you read of in the Bible or in the history books, and that's what's going to happen. All of them slick, pretty cars and whatnot. The government going to take it. Man, we wasn't no bad, what they say, we wasn't no poor people when we were tricked into slavery, as many would want us to believe. We had some stuff. So they infiltrated through the black people who were the business owners and all of that type of stuff, and the government and all of that type of stuff, and got them to go along with the plan. And then they went on in the jungles and they got us. That's what happened. And then they took our goods. That's what they did. They just took it. Give it here. So now they took it. Now we ain't figured out a way to get it back. So when a brother come along and say, come on, let's do this, they say, oh man, he ain't no Martin Luther King. He ain't this, he ain't that. And you leave your loved one in prison with that mentality. God created us all for a season. That's what he created us for. He didn't create us to be permanent, but for a season. So we better get on the ball here. My fellow brothers, and many of you know who I'm speaking of. Listen to me. You don't want to go to no prison. You know why? Because this is what happened when you go to prison, especially the young brothers. They enter into these prisons and they think that, well, because Bobby and Tony and John is there, then this is going to be just one big party and they waiting on their appeal. Well, they get in there and it ain't that way. Then they say, I want to go home. Go where? Home. Say, young man, do you realize you got natural life? What? Natural life? Natural life? They mean they ain't gonna never let me go. Man, you can avoid all that before it even gets started. Just don't do it. God created that man. Even though, man, some of the brothers are lacking, sisters are too. So we got to call it real. But the bottom line of it is this. Some brothers are lacking, and as a result of lacking, the bottom line of it is that man figure ain't in the house. And in some instances, even if the man figure was in the house, the sister wouldn't like the result because the man would probably kill some of these children. Oh man, he mentioned violence, killing. Yes, they whooped their ass back then. And it hurt. The kids went to school, it was common to go there with a whip across your face. Kids go there and say, well, we was just playing with a belt. And the whole neighborhood hurt you. I can tell you this much. You may would have done what you done again, but you was going to change that script because that ass was going to be warm. See, and it helped you to kind of like keep you on track. And I don't want me to tell you, guess what? Some of you may say, well, I was whooped. And I was this and all this all my life, and it didn't do no good, you know. Sure, I'm a crackhead, and I'm this and that, and this and that, and this and that. Man, listen to me. You just had a hard ass. That's your problem. See, the key of it is this. A nation without discipline can only add up to a mass incarceration because there's no way to correct the kid from the error. So some people say, well, we just talked to little Sheila. Okay. So most of the kids today, oh my gosh, they just pop up and they just so happy. I would too if I was born in this generation. It is kids calling their mothers out of their names, and then the mothers say, what you say? And say, pow! Next thing you know, she had this big, beautiful job. She was making almost 100 G's. Oh man, working for the government. Gone. You know why it left? Because you didn't fight to prevent it. But now you claim you need it, just like food stamps, just like public aid. Many of you, public aid. And the same people saying that right now, standing on the Dan Rhymes and other expressways all over this country, man, holding up signs saying, give me $1 or a penny. Man, something wrong with that picture. You know, inside of the prison system, you know, when we ran through problems and things like that, man, we came together. Man, I knew some brothers, man, who shared a noodle. Them Roman noodles, crack them up and blah, blah, put it in a bowl and they share it. All to go on a food drive. So please think. Please think. Let's be wise. Let's show some love. Let's show some courage and let's show some respect. Thank you and God bless you.